Welcome to Husker Storm Blog. This is a prediction video for UCLA, Nebraska. We'll review what they did last week. Nebraska played Southern Miss in what was a great game for Nebraska offensively. Defensively, they were all right. 49-20 victory. Taylor Martinez was magic. UCLA versus Rice. UCLA struggled in the first half defensively, shut them out in the second half. They had some explosive plays in that one, 149-24. Both of these offenses are top 5 in the country after 1 week in terms of total yards. UCLA at number 3 with like 640, Nebraska at number 4 with like 630. So both teams had impressive performances. Now Nebraska's was against Southern Miss, which is a team that won 12 games last year. Rice was a team that won 4 games last year and is pretty much a bottom feeder in college football. So Nebraska's was definitely more impressive. Now UCLA was on the road. Now let's say some interesting facts going into this game. Nebraska was 12 for 15 on third down conversions. That's an 80% clip. That was the best in the country. They had a lot of third downs in less than 5 because they didn't penalize themselves. They ran the ball effectively and they passed the ball ridiculously effective. Now UCLA, different story. They were 2 for 11. Now that's crazy how they had 640 yards, being 2 for 11 on third downs. That's really bad. Another interesting fact for Nebraska: when Taylor Martinez throws 25 more passes, he completes 75% or more. He throws for 70% or more. So that means, when he's dialed in, they're willing to throw some more pass plays. And most of the time, when he does throw for 70%, Nebraska wins. Last year, Nebraska did lose to Northwestern, but that's because they only ran for 130 yards in that game. And Taylor Martinez did throw for 70% in that game. Now UCLA, an interesting stat for them is they had loads of explosive plays. I believe they had 3 plays of 50 yards more. Might have been more than that. I know their first play, Brett Hundley, had a 70-yard touchdown run. So they're explosive offensively. John Franklin had 200-plus yards of rushing. So this game's going to be interesting. You have 2 teams that were really explosive in their first game. Now, UCLA played Rice, who in the last 5 years has been ranked in the hundreds in terms of total defense and rush defense. So they are awful defensively. And now last year, Nebraska played Southern Miss, and Southern Miss was top 15 defensively. And their pass efficiency was like top 7. They were like 7th in the country or something. They had a ridiculous stat for that. So they had a really good pass defense. They shut down Case Keenum, if you remember last year. So Nebraska did theirs against a team that is way better than Rice. Southern Miss beat Rice 48-24 last year. So take those games as you want, but all this hype about UCLA is kind of getting old already. Come on. They won 1 game and it was against Rice. They allowed 24 points in the first half, 300 yards. Now, UCLA struggles against rush defenses, especially teams that run the option, the zone read. They've struggled against teams like that for the past couple of years, and Nebraska likes to do that. I think Nebraska's going to run the ball more in this game. Don't be surprised if Taylor Martinez does throw the ball 20-plus times, but I think he's going to be explosive in the ground game. I think Nebraska's going to be explosive in the ground game. They're going to do enough offensively in this one to run up the score. I think Nebraska scores 50 in this one, and at least 40. They're going to have no problem moving the ball 500 yards passing of total offense, and 300 yards of rushing. I think Taylor Martinez has another good day through the air, and one thing Nebraska needs to focus on is penalties. This has been their demise the last couple of years. They played really well last week on the offensive line. I expect the same this week. No false starts in this game, no delay games, no holdings. Don't get yourself back in the chains. That's why last week they were so effective on third downs. And if they can continue that, they're going to continue to be effective. 3rd and 3, they're able to pass the ball or run the ball. So it gives you a lot of choices there. And, Tim Beck probably had loads of fun last week running this offense. UCLA, I think they're going to be effective on the ground, but They're going to need to be effective through the air to beat Nebraska, which I don't think they're going to be able to be. Nebraska has always had a good pass defense. Now, they sometimes are exposed, especially when there's a dual threat quarterback out there. They tend to focus a little too much on the quarterback running, potentially, and they get beat deep. We'll see if they can fix that in this one. But UCLA is going to have to run the ball effectively, really effectively. I think they're going to do a decent job of running the ball, but I think Nebraska holds them under 200 yards rushing. But Brett Hundley's going to have a good game through the air for them to stay in this one. And they're going to have to do a better job on third downs to have a chance. They can't be 2 for 11, and that's going to give Nebraska the ball a lot. And Nebraska's offense isn't going to be stopped by UCLA. They're going to have to win a shootout if UCLA wants to win this one. So they're going to have to do better on third downs. I think they will, because Nebraska was 50%. Southern Miss completed 50% of their third downs last week. So UCLA is going to be a little bit more effective on third downs, but they're going to have to be really effective to have any chance in this one. So I think Nebraska wins this one 52-20. They're going to win the turnover differential in this one. I think they force Brett Hundley to make a couple mistakes. And Taylor Martinez, I think he's going to be effective through the air and on the ground. He's going to have explosive play of 40 yards or more in this one. I think he's going to rush for a touchdown, pass for a couple. And Nebraska, hopefully they don't turn the ball over. They didn't last week. If they can keep that up, it's clean, and they're definitely maturing as a program. You can see after that first game, if they can continue it on the road in what is supposed to be like 55,000 people are expected for this game, and Nebraska is potentially bringing 25,000 plus. So, half the stadium could be red in this one. So, it's going to be a road game. They got to travel. It's a late night. It's not a late night game. It's an evening game, but, it's still going to be, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock when this game's finished in Nebraska. So it'll be semi-late for them. They're going to have to get used to that, going all the way across the country. I don't think that's going to affect them at all. They did this a couple years ago against Washington, and they destroyed Washington. I think it's going to be the same story. Nebraska was a 3-point favorite in that one. They are a 5-point favorite in this one. A lot of people had Washington upsetting Nebraska. A lot of people have UCLA upsetting Nebraska. I think Nebraska comes out and rolls UCLA. It's going to be a blowout in Pasadena. Nebraska destroys UCLA 52-20. Write it down. Taylor Martinez has a huge day. Amir Abdullah rushes for 100. UCLA does all right on offense. Close game for 2 quarters. Not after that. Thanks for watching. Check out next week's videos on Tuesday.